Maybelle stands alone, gazing at the moon and stars in the night sky, with a knife in her hand. Just then a young boy comes to join her, but maintains a distance, and she immediately takes a fighting stance and stretches her weapon towards him. Seika lifts both hands in the air and tells her to calm down, as he is not there to make trouble with her. Reluctantly, she drops her weapons, but remains cautious. Seika observes her choice of weapon and comments that she must feel lacking, as she is not used to using knives as her weapon of choice, but rather heavier weapons. She is surprised that he knows this about her. As he looks into the sky, he is disappointed that the sky is so clear, as he prefers a bit of clouds over the moon because there is no mystique attached to night gazing if the sky is too clear. Maybelle pointedly holds up her knife towards Seika and requests to know why he followed her if he did not come to fight her. Seika came to talk about her baggage, which may make him change his mind about his decisions if she tells him. To her, he's insane for suggesting that he finally wants to talk after what has transpired. Seika was confident that she was not trying to kill him or even the man who had stumbled upon them earlier. She accuses him of being the one that looked like he was going to kill her, but he denies it. She had hoped that if she could hurt him by breaking a few of his limbs, he would drop out the next day. She looks intently at him, like she is trying to find any form of injury, and she asks him if she succeeded in hurting him or if he healed himself. He refuses to give her a direct answer. She proceeds by begging him to withdraw because if they fought for real, she will not lose to him, as there is a reason why she would not lose. She frantically begs him to withdraw, as she will not go easy on him in a fight, and she cannot afford any more death on her hands. Seika reminds her that she is a stand-in for Amu, and her mission is to win the tournament and impersonate the hero, so that she can draw the devil's attention. Once again, Maybelle is surprised that he knows something about her. He tells her that even though it is her mission, her desperation is fueled by something else, and if she tells him what it is, he may withdraw as she has proposed. While she is impressed, she points out that his information is a little inaccurate. Contrary to what he knows, her mission is to be killed by an evil-eyed swordsman, which will make the devils think that the hero is dead. Seika asks if Kyle is also a plant, and she tells him more. The Legrock merchants train talented slave children to use as soldiers, like her and Kyle, which explains her fighting style. When the merchants train a soldier, they open the soldier's skull and engrave magic in their brain, which makes them unable to feel fear, anger, or doubt. Currently, they are in the process of testing to see if Kyle is a real soldier. Amongst the soldiers, they are trained in groups of 4 and only one makes it to the surgery. Afterwards, he has to kill his remaining 3 friends, and by doing so, he becomes a real soldier. Kyle has killed the other 2, and she is to be the last. She's determined to make it to the finals as a test or whatever she has to be to kill Kyle, because he killed her brother, who was a member of their group. Seika points out that she is lying. Apparently, Kyle is her brother, and before his surgery, he made her promise to him to rest if he changes his behavior. She firmly believes that the man fighting in the arena is not her brother, because he would never kill without a reason. Though she is unsure of where she can beat Kyle, she is willing to try, because either way, the merchants will dispose of her. Seika offers to fight Kyle in her place, but she shuts him up because, for people like her, there is no happy ending. That's a fact she's long accepted. But Seika vows that as long as he is at the academy, nobody will hurt her. Seika tells Maybelle that Kyle's wish will most likely be for his sister to live happily and freely instead of killing him or other people. While she agrees, she remains willing to face off with him in the next day's match, and Seika promises to show her that he is the best there is. With that, they both go their separate ways. It's the day of the match. Kyle is already in the finals and waiting to face off against either Seika or Maybelle in the semifinals. In the arena, Seika asks Maybelle about her massive weapon, and she retorts that she is going all out because she is done playing hero. Seika is genuinely interested in seeing her true potential, But Maybell reacts in a hostile manner, calling him a noble brat who has had it easy all his life. Because of his status, she boasts that he will be unable to beat her in the match. The match commences and everyone wonders who will win. Maybell moves about the arena, wielding her weapon against Seika and using magic while he stays in one spot with a small weapon and casts his magic repeatedly. After the fight, Seika wins the match by decision and proceeds to the finals. It is the first Imperial Arts of War tournament, and Seika is vying for the championship against the evil eye killer, Kyle. Inside the arena, Seika tells Kyle that he will not be facing Maybell, but him. Kyle is disappointed and asks to know if Maybell is still alive. Seika confirms that she is still alive, which means that Kyle will still kill her. Seika tries to reason with Kyle that he must not follow every order, but Kyle dismisses him because it has nothing to do with him. Seika insists that he does not like it what Kyle is doing. As her only family, Kyle is meant to value Maybell rather than follow orders that will harm her. Seika vows to have Kyle apologize to her after defeating him. Kyle scoffs at this pronouncement, just as the announcer declares the fight open. Immediately, Seika sends the first spell to Kyle, but he bypasses it like it's nothing. Seika's mission is to make Kyle feel at least one emotion, but Kyle bounces every spell he sends to him and keeps on advancing towards him. The arena is covered in red mist so that everyone outside the ring is unable to see what's happening anymore, but Kyle is undeterred as he continues to move. Seika wishes that Kyle would react a little to one of the spells he is casting, but he shows no outward sign of the effects of the magic. Seika summons a beast, and it attacks Kyle's barrier. Again, Kyle shows no sign of fear. Instead, he continues advancing till the beast knocks him to the side. Kyle falls with a great thud and lays unmoving. Seika asked the beast if he held back, and he said yes and went off. Seika tells Kyle that if he still had his emotions, he would have been scared of the beast because it is far stronger than him. Suddenly, a curse begins to activate within Kyle and Seika breaks it away. Kyle lies on the ground weakly as the curse refuses to deactivate even after Seika puts a barrier around them. Kyle is barely able to talk, which upsets Seika as he tries to do all he can to revive him. Seika draws closer to Kyle again, hoping that there is enough time to break the spell. Kyle opens his eyes and weakly tells Seika to help him apologize to Maybell. Seika is angry that they tried to outwit him with a curse and promises to deal with everyone involved. Rising to his feet, his eyes begin to change to a shiny shade of red, and everything starts to move in a circle around him. In his past life, Seika was the strongest person. Therefore, raising the dead was easy for him. As everything starts to change, a figure appears in the trance as Seika begins the process, and begs him to not do it because of the reason he reincarnated himself. Performing the magic will draw too much attention and questions about him, which they cannot afford, to conceal his identity and hide his powers. She desperately begs him to reconsider his actions and asks if he has any obligations towards Kyle to make him do such a thing. Seika yielded to her pleas and stopped the process. At the end of the match, they get Seika's word about Kyle's disappearance. The Emperor never showed up for the tournament, so his prize came from the organizers of the event. Seika politely declined to join the royal guard, but took the monetary gift. Seika hid Kyle's body in the void to avoid further questions and to give him a proper burial. Later he meets with Maybell and tries to explain to her, but she told him not to worry because she knew he would have curses on him, so she expected the outcome. Earlier at the arena, Kyle told Seika to give his apologies about the clover to Maybell. Though he has no idea what it means, he tells her during their meeting and she becomes sober. Maybell explains that before Kyle's surgery, she owned a clover hairpin which she loved so much and Kyle broke it, which led to a fight. Maybell breaks down in tears as she recounts the memories of the fight with her brother over something so trivial. After calming down, she wonders what will become of her and Seika tells her to go back and leave the academy, and he will handle it. Seika leads Maybell to the academy, where she meets with Amu and Efa. After the match, he told them what happened, while leaving out a few details. Just as Maybell turns to leave, Amu challenges her to a match, but she declines. Amu insists on the match, and Maybell agrees. Before starting, Amu tells Maybell that she is not allowed to use magic, and anyone who knocks out another's weapon is the winner. Maybell observes that Amu is now slower. While Maybell is not allowed to use magic, Amu is allowed to use it, which makes it a handicap match. Amu instantly knocks out Maybell, which makes her the winner. Maybell falls from the impact of the magic as Amu cheers around happily for winning. Amu calls her out for wanting to fight her brother, but Maybell tries to explain that it was neither about winning nor losing. Amu stops her from talking and accuses her of lying. To her, Maybell is not some needy little sister waiting for her older brother's approval, but a sister who wants to surpass her brother, and the tournament would have allowed her to achieve that. Amu proposes that they get along because she does not have a sparring partner at the academy and would like to have another match with Maybell. The two girls shook hands over their new partnership and headed out. Meanwhile, Seika goes for a meeting with an older person. He tells her that he saved Maybell during the tournament, and she explains that the merchants sold her to the academy. The merchants intended to market their soldiers at the tournament, but after the outcome, they wanted another deal. The old lady tells Seika that Maybell is talented, but she has suffered too much and deserves a better life, which is why she is willing to give her a second life at the academy. After the meeting, Seika seeks Maybell out for her daily lessons, but Maybell feels like school is too much work, and she cannot cope with it. Seika mandates her to study for her exams as she is doing poorly, and neither Afa nor Amu agrees to help her escape studying, which makes her weep that school is too scary. Did you enjoy this recap? If you did, kindly like this video and subscribe to our channel so we can bring you the recap of the next episode. Until next time, do take care and stay safe.